Hey guys, checking in for the end of my 11th week on Zepbound. I did not lose much weight this week. I only lost 1 pound, which is absolutely fine. This morning, as of the 14th, I weighed in at 232 pounds. And for those of you who don't know, I started my weight loss journey at 270.2 pounds on February 24th of this year. And as of the 14th, I am down to 233. So I do believe that is 38 pounds. So I'm fine that I didn't lose much weight this week, because as you guys know, a couple of weeks ago, I did experience where I was like at the same weight for about 2 weeks. And then I just turned around and dropped 3 or 4 pounds just like that. So apparently this is how my body responds to Zepbound and my food intake and everything that's going on. So I have no complaints. One thing that I'm starting to notice now that, more pounds are dropping off is I'm starting to get a little bit of loose, saggy skin. That's why I have on my tank top today. I wouldn't typically wear my tank top when I'm recording, but I just wanted to let you guys see what I'm saying. This is a little concerning. I am doing my exercises and stuff like that, but I think the weight's coming off so fast that my skin's just kind of like, okay, so what do we do now? So I'm getting like the bat wing. See the little bat wing? And it's all flabby. I'm just like a little bit self-conscious about that. So it's also happening for the inner thigh area. So I'm not sure if you guys are doing something that is kind of minimizing your bat wing. Let me know what that is down in the comments, because this is not going to be cute, for summertime. And I always put on a jacket. Like if I have on a tank top or something and walking around the house and I have to run out to the post office, I'll wear a jacket or throw on something that has sleeves because I'm a little bit self-conscious about it. But that's just me, I've always kind of been like that. If things don't look like I think they should, I try to cover it up. And I know a lot of people are just like, why don't you just be you? And this is just you. I've just never been that way. So anyhow, yesterday I had my very first day of wanting to go to the liquor store and get a drink. In the past, I've used food. I've used food as a comfort tool. I am an emotional eater. And not only when things are not going well. It's almost like food took the place. Food was incorporated when I was happy, when I was sad, when I was in the whatever it was, food was my go-to. And alcohol was kind of like that too. It's like if something great happens, oh, let's celebrate. Let's go get a cocktail. Let's celebrate. Or if I was upset about something, first thing I want to go and do to kind of bring the anxiety down was go and get a glass of wine, go and have a martini. Martinis are my absolute favorite, okay? And at my house, we did believe in cocktail hour every day. So I might have a scotch at 5:30 when I got home, whatever, just the cocktail hour was on at my house. So since I have started the Zepbound journey, I cut that out 100% cold turkey. Keep in mind, cocktail hour has been served at my house for the past 5 years, so a long time. So the reason I cut it out cold turkey is because I also realize that alcohol does contribute greatly to weight gain. So I wanted to do this thing right and part of that was letting that go, along with all of the other bad stuff that I would do on a daily basis. I used to throw down, you guys. I was like eating 5 and 6, you know, carnita tacos, margarita, have a piece of chocolate cake after that, get up 10 o'clock at night, you know, going to have that nighttime snack. And then I get a glass of wine to kind of help aid me in my good night's rest. So I had terrible habits, very terrible habits. So this has been a major, major change for me. And I am proud of myself for being able to cut out the alcohol cold turkey, cut out all of the bad eating habits. I just want it so bad. I remember saying one time, because as I told you guys before, I wasn't always heavy. When I was young, I was very, very thin, all the way up until I was about 32 years old. When I became about 32, the weight just started coming out of nowhere. So, and because I had always been thin, I did not know how to approach this new body that I had. I never had to work out before. I never had to eat well before. So all of this was new. So this is why I'm enjoying this process so much, especially learning how to cook differently. Because in the Black community, food is everything. You celebrate with food. You mourn with food. You have family time on a daily and weekly basis centered around food. And not to mention how the food is cooked, okay? Heart attack in a pot a lot of the times. So learning this new way of doing things has really been great for me. But anyhow, so yesterday I had my first day of thinking, damn, I wish I could go and get a drink. You know, with the whole society the way it is, the political climate, the things that are happening around us, you know, you tend to feel, at least I do, I tend to feel kind of hopeless and helpless, because what's happening around us, we can't do anything about it. What could potentially be happening to you and your family? There are of course always things you can do, but ultimately there's nothing you can do about it because it's much bigger than all of us. So I was just TikToking yesterday and looking at some other content creators here on YouTube, and I just got so super depressed. And it just made me sad. It made me sad. I'm kind of getting a little bit emotional right now. But it made me sad. And again, I started to revert back to what my old way of being was. And that's to, you know, reinstate cocktail hour or go and get something to eat that I shouldn't eat. But I didn't do it, but it was tough. It was one of the first days that was tough for me, because my mental state was getting the best of me yesterday. So I'm really happy that I didn't, but I have to find a better way to deal with these feelings that come up. And I'm sure, being that things are the way they are, I'm probably going to have more days like that. And a lot of people say, you know, well, don't even watch that stuff. Don't watch TikTok. Don't, you know, watch other YouTube creators that are talking about the political affairs or current affairs. But it's almost like one of those things, like I can't help myself, because I want to know what's going on around me. I want to know what's going on in the nation in which we live, because there's one thing that I cannot stand, and that's someone who is willfully ignorant to what's going on. So I want to be informed. but I don't want to overload myself either to the point where I'm like in mental anguish. So I have to figure out how to manage being informed and not doing too much. So that was really tough for me yesterday. And I almost broke. I really did. And you know, I'm almost certain that a glass of wine is not going to, you know, be the end of my journey, or be the be all end all. Oh my God, you know, God forbid you have a glass of wine. I'm sure that's not the case. However, knowing me and how my mind works and how I've worked in the past, it's like if you're doing something really positive and it's working, I can't break that seal. Because once it's broken, you know, the water's just gonna flow. And I know that about myself. As long as I stay regimented as I'm doing now, I will be successful. But if I break, I'm gonna lose all progress. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's something I have to work on mentally, that it's okay to, you know, do little things, just don't overindulge. But I'm afraid to tackle that right now. I'd much rather just stay on the path I'm on, at least until I get to where I want to be, and then I'll have to tackle that portion of it. So that has been my major challenge with what's happening with me and how I feel in my stratosphere. So I'm certain that things are only going to get worse as far as what we're experiencing as a nation. You know, and I have so much empathy for people that didn't realize what state we were in and what state we were going to be in as certain things transpired. They may have made wrong decisions because they didn't fully understand, and now they are being affected terribly and, you know, constantly negative. But, you know, all of those things I have to kind of let go. I have to quell my empathy, because it does really have an effect on my psyche. So that is the challenge that I had this week, you guys. Today, because I'm kind of still feeling that mental angst, today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on some recipes that I've wanted to try from all of these fantastic YouTube content creators. They are so creative. So I'm going to try a couple of recipes that I've run across over the past couple of weeks. So I'm gonna bring you guys along with me and share them. They are a lot of them are vegan recipes. I'm really digging the whole plant-based diet thing. It really works for me, and you know what? And I think my body would agree. And you know, prior to this Zepbound journey, I would have this massive amount of inflammation in my body. I mean, terribly. And when I wake up in the morning, my eyes would be super puffy. And I was thinking to myself, oh man, am I going to be one of these older ladies that has this problem? At the time, I did not understand that it was something that I was eating, or how my body reacted to certain things, like whether it was meat, gluten, whatever the case, my body was severely reacting to it. My face would be a little bit puffy. And I would have to go to my primary care physician like every 6 to 8 weeks because the inflammation would get so bad. And then she'd give me one of those little Z packs for inflammation, and I'd take that and I'd feel better until the next time. So since I've been on Zepbound, I haven't had any of those issues. So yeah, I was in Ingles grocery store the other day, and boy, oh boy, they were cooking something in that kitchen deli area. Smelled, it smelled so good. I had to hurry up and get away from there because, oh my God. So anyway, because I don't want to feel like that anymore. I don't want my body to be inflamed anymore. So plant-based vegan has been the thing. I don't have headaches anymore. I could go down a whole list of things that I am no longer experiencing. Maybe I'll do a video on that. You know, that's probably a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. I can't wait until to do my blood work again. That's going to be, I think, in another month or two. But I can't wait to see the results from prior to now. And I really would like to see, and I'm going to share that with you guys too, to see if my cholesterol has gone down, because I was on the brink of everything prior to getting on Zepbound. I was pre-diabetic, cholesterol was high, blood pressure was rising. Every time I went to the doctor, it was a little bit higher than it was the visit before. So I was on the brink of just like destruction, or on my way to it. So I'm going to share that with you guys when I do get those results back. But anyway, guys, so that was my challenge this week. And you know, stay tuned. Things are heating up around here, but I have to find a more positive way to process it. So I'm going to be working on that, guys. But thanks for checking in with me again. And let's have a good week out there, you GLP-1 users. And let's exercise a little harder, eat a few less calories, and let's lose more weight this week. So talk to you guys later. Bye.